Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of, are we the same person throughout life? What does that mean? Well, think about it this way. Well, we have different personalities, different ways of evolution through life. As a kid, we like to play. As a kid, we like to learn. Then we become a teenager. And after that, we become a young adult. And then after that, we're an adult. And even after that, you can get into middle age and then being old and all that. So, do we really change throughout life? Are we the same person throughout our whole life? Well, there's two ways of thinking about it. Yes, we technically are the same person because we're the same human being, but at the same time, I think as a soul and as just a person who's traveled throughout the world, well, we evolve and we become different. We become different people. We're not the same, because the thing is that the experiences that we have throughout life will basically dictate how we think. They will also dictate how we are. Our health will dictate the way of being. If we have an exuberant amount of energy as a kid, we might not have the same amount of energy as an adult. So you might still like a lot of the similar things, but then later on you kind of start thinking differently and you kind of adapt to what your body is telling you. And maybe you also realize some things that maybe you were doing because you were doing them because other kids were doing it or your parents were telling you to do, and then later on you figure that, well, maybe I don't really like these things. I don't really need to do these things. So you start figuring out who you are. After all, the brain is only fully formed at around 26. So the thing is that until the brain is fully formed, well, you're basically not fully developed. And on top of that, like I said, the experiences that we have are going to forge the character that we have. They're going to make us different. And on top of that, our exterior, being male or female, the country that we live in, and all these things will also completely change who you are. And you got to think that the cells are constantly being renewed. They're dying and then they're being regenerated into new cells, and the blood is changing, the skin is changing, the hair is changing. You get more wrinkles. So many things are happening within the body. It's a universe in itself, if that makes sense. And at least it does to me. But if the body is a universe within itself, then how can it never change? How can it never evolve? But in essence, we still are the same person as we were. But in soul, we are constantly evolving and we're constantly changing. So the thing is that basically what we say 5 years ago, or what we said 10 years ago, or what we liked at one moment or another in our life, it's going to be different. There's people that through life become allergic to something just because their cells have become different. They've generated differently. You are allergic now to something, to pollen, for example. And stuff like dairy, for example, we're all lactose intolerant, but we've kind of developed a sort of tolerance through the fact of having milk from cows and stuff like that for centuries. So especially the countries that have done it for a longer time, people from those places are usually more tolerant to it. But as we age, since we're all intolerant to it, just that we have different degrees of intolerance to it, as we age, then people become more intolerant to certain things, and it just happens. It just changes. So that's a change that can happen. And again, I think the fact that basically our body is evolving, and then the experiences that we have will forge us into what we are. And obviously, when you're young, you have big dreams, big hopes, the whole world is an oyster in some way, and as time flies by, and sometimes you realize some things, sometimes the time just passes by, And between being young and being middle-aged, really, it's only like 10-15 years, and that's a very short amount of time. So if you're not able to create those things at a very young age, sometimes it might feel like it's too late, even though in reality, as long as you're alive, well, you're still alive, so you can still do those things. But yeah, life is different, so you are going to change from the moment you live, from the moment you're born, throughout the moment that you're dead. You're going to be a completely different person. And what you might have liked at one moment of your life might be something that you really dislike afterwards. And that's just the experiences, and maybe doing things 20 times, eventually you realize that maybe what you thought you liked is not what you like, and you know yourself better. Okay, that's it. That's all I have to say on the subject. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.